Hi everybody, it's Mary and Kimberly coming from Sharing My Adventures.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about Universal Studios, the top 5 tips we have for wheelchair users and really everybody when going to Universal Studios Florida. The first one we're going to talk about is actually staying at a Universal Studios resort, staying right there where everything's happening. Kimberly, what's one of the reasons why that's so helpful?
Parking. There's on-site parking that makes it easy for you to get into your room.
Right. So every resort has parking that's easy to see, easy to find. We've been to 3 of the different resorts, and all of them, sometimes when I go to somewhere new, I have a little bit of anxiety of like, oh my gosh, how am I going to park? Where am I going to park? But these have all been very easy to follow instructions, directions. And then of course they have handicap accessible parking. Really have never had a problem finding an open spot. Sometimes it's a garage and you have to go up multiple levels, but I have always found one. So parking is definitely nice when you go to the Universal Studios resorts. What's another one?
The ease of going to the parks. There's a walking path, and there's the water taxi. Makes it pretty easy to get there.
Yeah, so the walking path, which I know we've shown before, is just a very nice paved concrete path that is surrounded by beautiful garden trees, palm trees. It's very nice. So it's really nice. Sometimes it might take you 20 minutes, it might take you 10 minutes. It depends on what resort you stay at and how far you have to walk. But
you're in shortcuts. If you know any shortcuts.
And yeah, sometimes there's those shortcuts too. But it's Florida. Who can't walk around in Florida? It's beautiful. And then you also mentioned the water taxis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of the hotels have water taxis, and these are really cool to get on and take less time than the walking path does. And even if your hotel doesn't have a water taxi, a lot of times you can walk into a hotel, just walk across the street or whatever to get into a hotel that has the water taxi. Another bonus about the water taxi is that you do your security check right there before you get on the boat. So they're definitely, you get the security done with the less crowd of people, less amount of people, and then it takes you right into Universal Studios. So that's really nice. There are shuttles, we should say. We don't use the shuttles very much. We did the last time just so we could say we did it. And
it was really easy.
Yeah, it was easy. The problem that we had,
the signs weren't.
Yeah, the signs weren't very clear. Like we left the Universal Studio Parks, went to where we knew the shuttles were at, but then we couldn't find where our shuttle to our specific resort was. So a little better signage would have worked with that. It kind of was a little confusing. But when we got there, the shuttle was there. It's very quick, very friendly service. Took us right to the hotel. So, I mean, it was nice, but it's just not our cup of tea. So we like the walking path and also the water taxi. So the second tip for going to Universal Studios, especially in a wheelchair, is to go in the fall or the winter. Avoid the summer. Oh my gosh. Just avoid it completely if you can. We've done half and half. Twice we went in the summer, twice we've gone in the winter or fall. We went in October and then we went in December. So why would you say that? Why?
There are a ton more people in the summer there.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does. But there's, especially in the Harry Potter section, which is my favorite section, as we all know.
Yeah. Surprise, Kimberly's a Harry Potter fan. Yeah, the Harry Potter stuff is like really crowded because it's the most popular attraction, and kids and adults, it's just wall-to-wall people. I mean, trying to get a power chair through wall-to-wall people is very frustrating. That's a good word. Frustrating. And most of you who have been in a wheelchair or something like that, or pushing somebody in a stroller even, can understand that. So that's definitely a good thing. Less people in the fall and winter. The other one would be the weather,
Yes.
I mean, in the summer, it is hot in Florida. Hot.
Shocker,
I know. And it's still warm in the fall and winter. It's still, 70s, 80s. Who wouldn't love that? So definitely temperature helps, okay? Especially if you are affected by the heat. If you just can't really function very well with heat, then definitely go in the fall and winter. Final reason, a little bit selfish, is that you feel really good leaving the cold behind. Like when you're in Florida, beautiful weather, and it's, I don't know, 6 degrees back home. It kind of feels good. kind of makes you just have that little bit of extra.
Yay!
So anyway, those are the reasons why we would definitely recommend going in the fall and winter. Not to mention, let's mention that winter you do get to see the Christmas decorations.
Yes.
And that's always
And that's
fun.
pretty.
Who doesn't like Christmas decorations? That's pretty,
It is.
for sure. Okay, so then the third tip that we have, we would probably recommend going to when you can go with the ticketed events. So what I mean is they have different events. One is called Halloween Horror Nights, or HHN, and the other one we've done is the Universal Orlando Informer Meetup Days. Both ticketed events, meaning you're buying a special ticket and they only sell so many. And so what that equates to is less people,
Less people.
drastically less people. I mean, you're walking through the park.
When we were there last time, we were just able to stand there and just talk. And
Yeah, the last time we
Yes.
went, we could just stand anywhere we wanted to without feeling like we're in the way, and just visit and talk and point things out and look at things, because there were hardly anybody there, even in the Harry Potter stuff. Now, there still was quite a few, but I mean, we could walk.
anyway,
I don't know that I could express this enough, how much emptier the parks are during the Informer Meetup Days and the HHN. So if you're only going to Universal Studios once, and you're in a power chair,
don't do it in the summer, don't it?
don't use one of these ticketed events. It does cost a little bit more. I believe the HHN ticket was maybe like $75 a
Yeah.
ticket, and they closed the park to everybody else. Only the people with the ticket gets to get back in the evening, and it's like it's been a while. It's been like, I don't know.
Till like midnight or something.
Yeah, 7 to midnight or something like that. Now the Informal Meetup tickets, again, it started like from 5 p.m. to midnight, and during the meetup they're a little bit more expensive, but you get free food and drink. So anyway, utilize the ticketed events if you can. Feel free to message below if you really have any questions and want more information about that. Be happy to share. But that's probably point number 3.
Yep.
Okay. Number 4
Oh, we
is...
didn't do this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good job. So we have little notes here to kind of make sure we stay on track. One reason why it's also cool to go during the HHN or the meetups, or the fall and winter, is you get to see special things like in the Harry Potter world during the Halloween stuff, you get to see the Death Eaters roam around and come out, and that's really cool.
They'll play with you.
Yeah, they'll interact with you, just, so it's cool. And then also during the, they also have an awesome Hogwarts Castle light show. It's very, very pretty. And then you also have that during the winter meetups with a different kind of light show. It looks different, but it's with Christmassy kind of stuff. So those are cool times to go during the year to get those special things. There's a parade at Christmas, so that was really cool. A lot of different things. Okay, so our 4th tip would be to try things you don't like, okay? Because you might be surprised. What's our prime example?
We did the horror makeup show.
Horror makeup show. I mean, who wants to see a horror makeup show? We don't like horror. So nothing scary, nothing like that. But
It's actually a comedy.
it's actually comedy, yeah. And I found that you can stay in, I was looking for things that Kimberly would be able to do. Things that she can stay in her power chair and do. And that is one of the things. It's a show. So we're like, okay, let's give it a try. People told us, that it was just actually more comedy than horror. And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Funniest thing we'd seen in a long time. It was really, really good.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed it. We actually went and saw it again.
We did.
Because it was so funny. So that was really cool. And then finally, actually, I did think of another one. But let's go with our list here. The other thing that we would suggest to do is to do the things that you can do. They have pamphlets that show you what their requirements are, what the different ride requirements are. And also, there's a ton of shows, a ton of just on the street shows. So music, dancing, just different things. So do the things that you can do, and don't get stuck in one thing thinking this is all you can do. Roam through the parks, look around. You'll always find something, promise. The actual last thing that I thought of just sitting here is that utilize Facebook. I mean, there are so many groups out there. And so we do an Orlando Informer group. And you ask all the questions you need. You get all the advice you need by people who have been doing it, have seen it. And so that's what we like to do, is get on Facebook, join groups that have the same interests as us and things like that, and ask all the questions you need to. So All right,
Yeah.
is that about all we got?
I think so.
All right, so let us know if you have any questions specifically. We'll try to answer as many as we can. And we want to thank everybody for joining us and for following us and liking us. Please share this video. Again, hopefully you find something helpful, a tip that will help you. And thanks.
Thank you. And that's an honest review from our review.
Bye.
Bye.